Hello and welcome and Merry Christmas, I believe. Today I'm in the new Tier 9 German destroyer, the Z-46. I'm using these modules and commander skills. And I would like to mention that I played this match before the release of the German destroyers, which means that this ship is somewhat significantly stronger than the release version. I don't think it's a very big deal though. The main difference is that the smoke is shorter duration. Your hydro is like 1 kilometer shorter, and you can't stealth fire as easily, or you might not be able to stealth fire at all. People seem to make a big deal out of the stealth fire issue, but I think it's actually the least significant portion of the change, because your shell arcs aren't very significantly better than the US destroyer shell arcs anyway, so with your 9.7 kilometer concealed fire range, you know, it's not the most effective range to be firing at things from, so I don't think it's as big of a deal. I think the 20 seconds less on the smokescreen duration is a much bigger issue. And, you know, hydro being 4.6 kilometers instead of like 5.6 is a much more significant thing. So, this is a match on the map Okinawa, I believe, and I headed towards the B cap. I went into the cap, I started smoking because I was afraid of planes, and I used hydro because if there are other DDs I might spot them, like that Leningrad right now, even though she was inside smoke. Not to mention that if she torpedoes, I will know that torpedoes are coming. By the way, those torpedoes should not be the Leningrad's torpedoes, so there is another DD inside B. And if I look at the minimap, I can actually tell that, yeah, there is one. So, oh, actually the DD left. That's very good news, because it means I am probably able to get this cap zone since I am inside a smoke screen. Although, I'm not quite certain if this were a possibility if, after the, you know, nerfs to the ships. I find that the nerfs were kinda necessary. Especially the hydro range nerf, because there really was no reason to pick the tier 10 Z-52 over the Z-46, because the Z-46 had like 500 or 600 meters better concealment, and none of the other things made the difference there. Oh, and you see, even right now the smokescreen disappeared before I actually got the cap zone, so if it had disappeared 20 seconds earlier, I guess I couldn't have fired my guns as often. Okay, so torpedoes incoming. It's nice that I spotted them right before my hydro disappeared, so I know that the torps are coming. If that hydro had been activated like, I don't know, a few seconds earlier, I would have no idea that those torpedoes were coming. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter, because they ran out of time before anyway. So if I look at the actual map and what both teams are doing, I really don't like what my team is doing. There's like, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships going towards A? That's almost half the team. Guys, what the fuck? You should always prioritize going for the C and B caps, because it's much easier to defend the B cap if your team is mostly focused on the C cap. If your team focuses on the A cap and too many ships go to A, there's very little you can do, because you can't defend B cap from the A cap. The only reason it seems to work out in random battles is because, for some reason, teams often just don't push into the B cap, even though they know that half the enemy team is in the A cap. Okay, so another DD has come back into the B cap, which is why I'm gonna go and visit her. It's 35 seconds to hydro, so this seems like a very good idea, particularly because we actually have 2 battleships pushing with me. Which means that even if cruisers come, it's not going to be as scary. The main thing I'm afraid of are planes. And I might have to use my smokescreen to actually deal with the planes. By the way, if you're wondering what ships are good against German destroyers, then one of the answers is carriers. Because they don't have defensive fire, and their concealment isn't the greatest, and they are pretty big and lumbersome. So I can see that Yugumo over there. Hydro definitely spots her. I will probably also be able to spot Yamagi and Kutuzov. I made a smoke wall here, and now I'm gonna start slowing down, because I wanted to offer the battleships behind me also an ability to stay in smoke. So right now, this is really bad for the Yugumo. She is showing me broadside, which is a bad idea since I'm a German DD. My AP deals a lot of damage. And I have Hydro up, which means I know that she's not torpedoing right now. And I'm gonna torpedo in their direction, which is probably going to end up pretty poorly for them. It might be dangerous if the Kutuzov has Hydro, but I should be able to tuck my ship behind the island. I'll try dealing with this Yugumo first though. Come on Yugumo, please die. Unfortunately, it seems my torps aren't going to be the most effective. I guess I might hit the Kutuzov. Those carrier torps were pretty close, but they really weren't meant for me, so I guess I got slightly lucky that they didn't hit me. And notice that the Amagi is starting to show broadside, so I'm gonna fire at the upper belt with AP. Did you just see that? 5000 AP salvo from a destroyer to a battleship, because I am firing at the upper belt. Those secondaries look slightly scary, but they're not, targeted at me because I am not spotted. And, the first salvos were already done, so at this point, the follow-up AP damage isn't as significant. It's only like 2000 per salvo, but still, it's like a 3-second reload, so 2000 every, 3 seconds is significant. Unfortunately, my smokescreen is disappearing, so it ended up being completely alright, because my friends killed Yamagi. Sure, I got the killing blow, but actually somebody else took the actual kill there. Okay, since I am fairly healthy, although my Hydra and smoke are on cooldown, I did see a destroyer over here that's gonna come around. I think it's the Leningrad or something like that. Yep, hello Leningrad, and she's showing broadside, so say hello to my AP. Oh, I missed the ship. I think that wasn't enough lead, because remember the Leningrad is 43 knots. She's turning away though, so I might need to fire HE. Thank you for the spotting of the torpedoes, carrier player. That is very useful. I don't have Hydro though for a whole minute, so I can't spot the Leningrad if she stays inside that smoke. However, she has already fired her torpedoes, so it shouldn't be a big threat even if I approach her, at a close range battle. I still have my 19,000 HP, so it should be completely alright. Not to mention, even if I head in that direction, there's also a delicious Essex over there. There's also an oh, the Essex lost half her HP. I guess it's a lot less delicious now. But I should be able to get this Leningrad down in a moment. Goodbye. So if you actually play German destroyers, then you should definitely pay attention to the damage your HE and AP shells deal. If you look at something like US destroyers, you'll notice that the HE and AP damage is very similar. But on German destroyers it's completely different. On German destroyers, AP damage is far higher. It's almost double, or I think it might even be double compared to the HE damage. That's why you really want to fire AP quite often on these DDs. And this... goodbye, Essex. Alright, and now I'm gonna head towards the sea cap and kill this Amagi, or at least try to anyway. Hopefully she keeps shooting at something else. At this kind of range, I'm not quite certain if I should be firing HE or AP. The reason being that she is slightly angled, and the penetration at this kind of range isn't the best. She's firing HE at me, but once you see somebody fire at you as a destroyer, change your course. Turn in, turn away, slow down, speed up, just make a change, and if the shells take long enough that your ship, significantly changes their angle or position or course, you will dodge almost all of the shells almost every single time. That's why being at longer range is so effective, and that's also why things like Soviet DDs are so extremely good at dodging shells, because they are so fast that if they make a change after they see that you fire, then they will be in a very different position from where the shells were aimed at. Even if you're like a really good aimer and predict exactly where they go, the game still gives you like an auto-aim function that's built into the game, and that will, you know, skew where the shells go. But that function is very useful, otherwise you won't be hitting anything at all. But anyways, the DD is in B, so I'll try to go towards it, but I don't think any of that's gonna happen because the game is gonna end very, very soon. And there she is. Let's see if we can kill her. Unfortunately, no. Somebody killed the cruiser first. And as a result, the game ended. So anyways, let's look at the results. 423,000 credits. Only 78,000 damage, by the way. Not that high. But I did get 5 kills. Remember, this is a test ship, so we don't get any medals. But I did get 5 kills, so technically it's a Kraken Unleashed. So I'm quite happy with it. 2 solo caps as well. And other than that, you know, it wasn't that spectacular of a match, but you saw how useful Hydro can be in combination with Smoke. Almost 2500 base XP, so I'm very happy with this result. Detailed report, well, as you can see, almost all of my damage is from the guns. I only hit 1 torpedo and it didn't deal a significant amount of damage. Even fire and flooding damage wasn't that significant. Almost everything came from the guns. And yet I still got 5 kills. And credits panel, you'll see, well, 20,000 Captain XP because I was piling on all the Captain XP modifiers to get a 15-point Captain. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the Patreons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Broken Willy. Oh, and if you guys enjoyed this video, if you liked it, upvote it or like it, and if you didn't like it, dislike it. I hope I see you guys next time.